Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Senior Cat Wellness. Today, it's all about the don'ts when it comes to food. This is for everyone, all cat owners, but if you're new to the ownership journey, very much a novice owner, this one is certainly for you. Sharing your food with your cat, it can often be very hard to resist, especially when they're looking right at you and just won't leave until you do something. But here's the truth: some human food can be downright dangerous for felines. And today I'm going to walk you through the top 5 foods that you should never feed your cat and why they do pose a very serious risk. So stick around to the end because number 5 is the common one that catches a lot of people very much off guard. So let's get started. We'll kick things off with a bit of a mixed bag. We've got some garlic, we've got some onions, and we've got some chives. Whether we're talking raw or cooked or powdered or dried, any way you prepare them, all of this is very much toxic to cats. They contain compounds that can very much damage your pet's red blood cells, leading to anemia. And the very scary part of it all, the symptoms, they don't appear right away in short order. You might notice lethargy, weakness, or maybe even some pale gums over a few days or the course of a week after initial ingestion. Especially if your cat gets into something like some, say, stir fry or some leftover and seasoned meats. That's where usually this can take place, the consumption. But the symptoms can take several days to appear. Even a very small amount can cause some harm. So it's up to you to be responsible and double check those ingredients to make sure nothing that you prepare contains a lot of onions, garlic, and chives, especially if your cat likes to roam around the kitchen and maybe even near the trash and going through some food scraps. Very important that you stay alert and very keen to what your cat's up to, especially at mealtime. Next up, chocolate. I think most of us know that chocolate is very bad for our canine friends, but it's just as bad, just as toxic for cats. Chocolate does contain theobromine and caffeine, two stimulants that cats, they just can't metabolize very effectively. Dark chocolate, baking chocolate, very dangerous, even in small amounts. Eating chocolate can cause a cat to have rapid breathing and increased heart rate. Even tremors and seizures can occur. Remember, cats are very curious creatures, so if you leave that chocolate out, especially something like brownies or chocolate chip cookies, they might help themselves without you realizing it. All it takes is to turn your back once if your cat's near the cookies, near the chocolate. So keep all sweets out of your pet's reach. That leads us to number 3. We're talking about dairy. And you're probably thinking, hey, all my life I've seen cats drink milk, whether on TV and commercials, movies, or even, say, advertising or whatnot. But it's a classic image of cats drinking milk. But the truth is, most adult cats are very much lactose intolerant. This means they lack the enzyme needed to properly digest the milk, and any dairy for that matter. Feeding your cat milk, ice cream, cheese, you name it, can lead to an upset stomach, diarrhea, and stomach cramps. There are lactose-free cat milk products on the market that are safe in moderation, but regular dairy, got to avoid that all the time, all the time. Next up, let's talk about fish, raw fish, and bones. It could be surprising, but raw fish and bones are often associated with what cats naturally eat. Raw fish can be very dangerous. It can cause a deficiency in thiamine, which can cause neurological problems, including seizures and even death, if too much is consumed, and especially if it's all left untreated. As for those bones, especially the cooked ones, they can splinter, and these splinters can cause damage to your cat's mouth, the inside of your cat's mouth. But more importantly, more emergency wise, they can lead to a choking hazard, cause blockages, and even tears in your cat's digestive tract because of the splintered nature of the bones. Even raw bones can pose a risk if they're not appropriately sized or supervised. So if you want to give your cat raw fish, and especially if anything has got tiny bones in it, you got two choices. Either be very, very keen and prepare it the best way you can in terms of trying to weed out these bones, or just don't even bother going through it because the health risk, it's right there, and it's a very risky gamble to take. Next up is the last one. It's number 5. It's one I mentioned. It could be a bit of a surprise, but it could catch you off guard. It's grapes and raisins. Highly toxic to dogs, but they can be very bad for cats. Even small amounts can potentially lead to kidney failure. But here's the trick. We don't fully understand why some cats can be affected and why some are not. But here again, why take this risk? Why take the gamble? Keep grapes and raisins and anything made with them, say trail mix or baked goods, keep them away from your feline. And finally, I want to end with this one. It's xylitol. Many years ago, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, I did a lengthy video on this channel about xylitol. The angle then, if memory serves, was about chewing gum. But xylitol is an artificial sweetener. It is found in sugar-free chewing gum, candy, and even some peanut butters, which is very toxic and deadly to dogs, but it can be equally as deadly, potentially, to cats. It can affect cats in a very negative way. So xylitol. In this case, it's obvious not to feed your cat candy, but sugar-free gum wrappers. Sometimes with gum wrappers, we can take the piece of gum out and maybe just, I don't know, throw the wrapper away or just flick it away. We've all been in places where we see gum wrappers just sort of resting about, if you will. So the last thing you want to do is have your cat roam around your home and find a gum wrapper, a sugar-free gum wrapper, a gum that contains xylitol, and your cat could lick the wrapper. You just don't want it, so it's not worth even taking the chance. So always keep those candies out of your cat's reach, but discard your gum wrappers, those sugar-free gum wrappers. Discard them immediately. Overall, just to recap, keep these foods away from your cat. We're talking garlic and chives and onions, chocolate of all types, dairy products of all types, fish, raw fish specifically, and bones, the sharp and pointy bones. Keep those away. They can cause a choking hazard, dental issues, issues with your cat's gums, and perhaps even tears in your cat's digestive tract as they, after consumption, they try to digest those sharp and pointy bones. And grapes and raisins, and of course, the little extra at the end there, the xylitol. Keep candies and sugar-free gum out of your away from your cat, but more specifically, those gum wrappers. Overall, as pet owners, we always want to make sure our cats are safe, but sometimes the best way to keep them safe is to keep them out of harm's way in terms of what we feed them. You know, if it's not cat approved, vet approved, keep it out of the way. So aside from their daily meals, if you want to give your cat a little bit of a snack, stick to cat treats and avoid all the things that I mentioned here today. If you think your cat has consumed something toxic, of course, call your vet immediately. You can also phone a poison control hotline, a hotline of your choosing and availability, depending on your location, for emergency instructions during your pet's time of need. To the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Anything you'd like to add to the conversation? Perhaps your personal stories? The comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you found this content informative, very helpful, please give the video a like and share it out and subscribe to us right here at Senior Cat Wellness. And until next time, we will talk to you later.